ladies and gentlemen. The U.S. is calling for African nations to support Ukraine. Well, America is not in any position to make those kind of demands, being that you got melanated people living right here in your country that you don't even treat right. How the hell are you going to go to a nation like Africa and tell them to support somebody? Who the hell are you anyway? And you don't do anything for these people. You don't do nothing for us here at home. What the hell? All right, these hypocrites just recently called for African support for the Ukraine. The US government says more African voices are needed to challenge Russia's aggression against Ukraine. No, it isn't. Y'all don't pay attention to no African voice. You don't pay attention to our voices right here in your damn backyard. Okay, now, voice from the dark continent is very important now. Yeah, right. This week, most African countries voted in favor of UN resolution condemning the conflict in Ukraine waged by Russia. Not all of them, y'all. There are nations that are not going to stand by the Ukraine. You know, see, America only want to tell you one side of the story, but go out and just type nations that support the Russians. There's a lot of nations that support Russia too. But in the US, because the news is very slanted and biased, you only get one side, and the one side that you get is leaning in one direction real hard. Since this stuff began, I like going out on the foreign news stations. You get a lot of footage of what's going on in there. And they really get down to not only talking to the people, but showing you the actual war as is in progress. You see a lot of it. They really do get good footage. Where America just want to get on there and show a bunch of crying Ukrainians trying to make everybody feel so bad and so sorry for them. Oh my goodness. Oh, that stuff. That's what America is doing heavily instead of letting you see the conflict and you can decide for yourself what side you're on, or maybe you don't care about either side like me, you know, but to tell somebody they have to support someone, nah. Mm-mm. Speaking to an African journalist online Thursday, Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs Molly Fee said Ukrainians need African support. The U.S. believes strongly that African voices matter in the international community, that your voices matter in the global conversation. We believe that it is critical at this moment in time that the entire international community demonstrates unity and speaks with one voice against this aggression and in support of principles, timeless principles. These include sovereignty, territorial integrity, peaceful resolution of disputes. Do you even see them doing this in America? I mean, seriously? When our people get gunned down by the police, do you see them trying to look for resolution? No, what they do is they blame the unarmed black man or woman, and the police is always right. But I guess that's their definition of peaceful resolution, huh? And a protection of civilians, Reese said. All right. So on Tuesday, the United Nations General Assembly of 141 countries condemned Russia on Ukraine. Eritrea was the only African country that voted against the resolution, and 16 countries from the continent abstained. We always have our internal problems in Africa. I don't think it will be advisable for us to engage in matters, of course. It concerns us in a sense that these are matters that affect international peace and security. But I don't think Africa can craft a role in for itself in this kind of arrangement. And moreover, we do have the European Union, which is a primer regional organization in Europe, which is engaged in the matter. I don't think an African Union intervention will be welcomed. And you know what? They're right. I mean, look, we're not respected on this earth. Even if you're an African, you're not respected on this earth. They have turned this entire planet to be against us. And and then as soon as something happens to them over in Europe, we need to unite. We need to pray. We need to no, we don't need to do all that stuff. You weren't interested in doing any of that stuff with these nations before. You're always convenient when something's wrong with you. I'll pass on it. Okay, it makes more important sense to continue to shape the discourse and narratives in terms of helping to preserve and helping to promote the framework of the current global order that stresses the need for countries to respect their equal status under international law. These folks, none of them respect law. They don't follow the law and they don't respect the law. But they'll tell you to do those things while they sit there in the cut and don't do none of those things. So, the need for regardless size, history, political structure, resources, it needs to protect the interests of all states. Well, the US government has assured African governments the conflict in Europe will not affect its engagement with the continent. Well, I don't know if that's a good thing. You mean the continent that you rape, rob, and steal the resources from? Y'all, let's face it, these European westernized countries are all under judgment. And it's only going to get worse. This war going on is only going to intensify. And they have no history of fighting a war without us being involved. And they won't have a history of that now, unfortunately. But y'all, please tell me what you think about America calling for Africa to support Ukraine. Y'all better get with that Janet Jackson song, What Have You Done For Me Lately? That's what I'm talking about. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.